You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
That was a town hall held in Missouri's 4th Congressional District. MAGA Republican Congressmember Mark Alford is the congressman of this ruby red district, and his constituents were letting him have it. Take your head out of Donald Trump's ass. Let me show you, as Congressman Alford says that the reason they're attacking Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Programs, SNAP, is because SNAP shouldn't be a lifestyle. At some point, it became like the SNAP lifestyle, everybody, and we've got to stop that. Here, play this clip because the crowd was not too pleased. Let's play it.
Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. It's supposed to supplement. It's not supposed to be a full meal 3 times a week, 7 days a week, 3 times a day, 7 days a week. It is supposed to be a life vest and not a lifestyle. And there have been abuses in the system. There are facts out there that I have seen. Even the Secretary of Ag, Vilsack, testified before this, our committee and the Ag Committee, that there's $34 million a day in waste, abuse, and fraud in the system. That needs to be fixed.
Then here's this constituent that you saw at the outset saying, I am pissed. I am pissed at you. You are bankrupting our farms and our businesses and our future generations. Watch what he had to say. Let's play it.
My great-great-grandfather helped open this university. I am pissed, and I'm pissed at you because I have emailed you, because it's easier for me than to try to talk on the phone without profanity. I would appreciate you taking your father's U.S. Constitution book, read it, study it, make your own lines underneath it, and get Trump out of office. The man is a dictator. He knows nothing about what he talks about. I listened to him for about a half hour today, and I got sick at all the lies he brought up. Now, I'm about ready to lose my farm. Do you know why? I'm sure you don't know why.
Lose your what, sir?
Farm.
Farm?
Yeah.
Why is that, sir?
Because Missouri does not have wills. They have trust. They have legal zigzags. And a trust, most people don't know anything about. So I'm dealing with a state that's a crooked state, doesn't care about what farmers happen. The only reason why we have farmers today is because the federal government funds them. How much money of our tax money goes to farmers? Farmers work very hard, but they're funded by the federal government, not by selling groceries. That's what Foster Farms and all of those characters, that's where they get their money. The price of steaks, $20 a pound, because of big business. You want to straighten out the budget? Start taxing corporations and the wealthy, like we've been telling you. Do you think we're idiots? Do you think we don't pay taxes? Do you think that we don't have to make budgets? You talk about half-truths when I listen to you. You know nothing about taking care of children because you've always had a really good-paying job. You know nothing about what a working-class citizen does. Come down here. Come down here and start trying to pay your medical insurance. Come down here and walk into Costco to try to feed your family, to feed your kid that's moved out, to feed your great-grandchildren. I had a very good job in California, and I'm able to feed my family, and it goes all the way to great-grandchildren. You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
Powerful stuff right there. Next up, a constituent asks Congressmember Alford, did you share with Donald Trump that Putin is the bad guy and Zelensky is the good guy, and Zelensky was not the aggressor and Putin was the aggressor? And watch the duplicity of Congressmember Alford, who's like, I don't believe Donald Trump ever said that Zelensky was the aggressor. Congressman, MAGA Republican congressman, he did. He's accused both sides of being to blame for this, not Putin, who did the invasion. Maybe you want to go back and look at the tape, or are you too cowardly to look yourself in the mirror? Here, play this clip.
I just wondered if you had shared with President Trump that Vladimir Putin was the aggressor, because he keeps saying that Ukraine did it, and we all saw what happened, but he continually lies and lies and lies.
I've never heard President Trump, maybe you have that on file, I've never heard him say that Zelensky was the aggressor in this. Did he say that? I don't believe he has. I don't have a close personal relationship with President Trump where I can go in the Oval Office and say, look, President, I hope you know that that Vladimir Putin is the aggressor in this. I think the world knows who is at fault in this, and that he can't have another apple in his cart, so to speak, that we have got to push back against Vladimir Putin. Now, you may not agree with how President Trump is going about this negotiation process, and I understand that. But I have never seen 6 European world leaders come to the White House in my lifetime, and I'll be 62. I don't know, has anyone else seen that? So they came here. They voiced their concern. There's a concerted effort between the European countries to provide some security guarantees for Ukraine outside of NATO, because we can't let Ukraine become part of NATO, because that would mean an instant strike or a threat of strike from Vladimir Putin. We should have in 2014 pushed back against Vladimir Putin very hard when he took over Crimea. We didn't do it. And that is another part of the mistake. Again, the rearview mirror, but let's look through the windshield.
And this crowd in the ruby red district of Missouri's 4th, they weren't buying what this guy was selling. Here you have people in the audience saying, if you actually care about Medicare and Medicaid fraud, why is Donald Trump pardoning people engaged in some of the biggest Medicare and Medicaid fraud in history? Here, watch this.
A couple of comments, which you don't have to respond to, but I'm going to. You talked about abuses in the Medicare and Medicaid system. I found it interesting that the president pardoned someone who defrauded the Medicaid system for about $1.3 billion. I find that curious.
Next up, you have a constituent saying to him, can you please just stop letting Trump get away with unconstitutional actions? Like, we don't want ICE, masked, militarized forces, disappearing human beings in the United States and sending them to concentration camps. And the crowd gets pissed at Alford. Here, play this clip.
Quit letting him get by with unconstitutional items such as armor.
All right, Fred, we're going to give the mic to somebody. Where's the mic? But I do want to answer this because Fred brings up an important point that I knew we would get to tonight, and that is the National Guard. You've seen on the news what's been happening. This started in California when Immigration Custom Enforcement was sent into California. ICE, yes sir, ICE, that's what it stands for. Immigration Custom Enforcement was sent into California to arrest and deport, eventually through Homeland Security, criminal illegal aliens. And so they were, that's what they did. And others who are here illegal, other illegal aliens. Primarily it started out with criminal illegal aliens. But look, Joe Biden has let 12 million illegal aliens into our sovereign nation. I think putting a lot of strain on our services for Medicaid and for Medicare. And so we've got to make sure, and healthcare and other services, we've got to make sure that if you're here illegally and Homeland Security has given these individuals a chance to go back and do it the right way. Go wait in line.
Next up, Alford says, look, at the end of the day, we just had to deal with immigration reform. We had to fix the hole in the boat, and Donald Trump is fixing the hole in the boat right here. That's why we're going after these immigrants. And he tries to make it seem like they're going after criminals when we all know they're going after just hardworking people. But play this clip.
We don't have all those yet, but we do have, for the most part, a secure border. We can't start working, and we could not start working on immigration reform until we fix the hole in the boat. And that's what Donald Trump did. He fixed the hole in the boat. And so now we can start looking at some of these programs.
And, you know, I guess to some extent, do you give this guy a little bit of credit for holding the town hall, whereas most MAGA Congress members don't do the town hall? But you also notice it's from a very defensive posture. Just own it. Donald Trump loves Putin. Just say it, because that's the truth. Why are you hiding from it? Go and say that what the disastrous budget bill is really going to do. Own it. Celebrate that you're kicking people off of Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, if that's how you really feel. If you're passing bills, own it. Own it. Take a look. This was from about a month and a half ago or so outside an Alford town hall, and you can see the people protesting there. Play this clip.
It's like the Trump parade. Nobody's inside. Shame! 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 Shame!
Now, this follows a trend of MAGA Republicans getting booed. Again, at least Alford held the town hall. MAGA Republican Congresswoman from New York, Elise Stefanik, she's refused to hold a town hall, but she showed up in the past, a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago at this point, at a government building naming ceremony, thinking she wouldn't get booed there. She got booed off the stage. She literally started speaking and went, "Oh no, you're booing me, I'm leaving." Here, play this clip. I'm not really sure what that voice was there about being booed, but she got booed off of stage. Next up, you had MAGA Republican Congress member Mike Flood from Lincoln, Nebraska. Red District. Watch him get booed. Play this clip.
It talks about two big changes to the Medicaid program. One of those changes is that if you are able to work and you are able-bodied, you have to work. If you choose not to work, you do not get free health care. You do not get free health care. Okay. So here's a question. Do you think that people who are 28 years old that can work and refuse to work should get free health care? I don't think that a majority of Nebraskans agree with you.
Here he gets booed again in deep red area of Nebraska. Let's play it.
Given your full-throated support of the bill, whatever we call it, and your view of the facts, I'd like to know how you expect to pay back all of this debt that is going to be layered onto our grandchildren because we're not willing to make our rich part of our society pay their fair share.
So what's interesting about that, and I think it's a fair question, two things are happening here. People in here are upset with me that I voted to cut $2 trillion in spending from the budget.
Got MAGA Republican Congresswoman Harriet Hagman getting booed as she defends Donald Trump's tariffs. Let's play it.
Who's responsible for establishing tariffs in our country? Well, right now, the president has taken that authority, but I imagine when we go back in September, we're going to be talking about that.
Why did he take that authority?
You're going to have to ask
You
him.
guys gave it to him. The House of Representatives are responsible for establishing tariffs. You gave that to him. The next thing I'd like to ask you,
That's exactly what's going to happen.
you look at the bigger picture. You're here to take
Tariffs
care
have raised over $150 billion.
Who pays for that? Who pays for that? We pay for that.
Inflation has not gone up.
Inflation
has not gone up.
There are reasons it hasn't gone up.
Here she gets booed again as she talks about getting rid of mail-in voting and having Donald Trump federalize the election process because Putin told him to. Here, play this clip.
We have to have mail-in ballots. My question to you was, how do you feel personally of stripping Americans of those foundational tools of mail-in ballots?
Tools?
Mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballots are not foundational tools.
You just said we have to protect it, but it's not foundational.
You're fully capable of exercising your right to vote without a mail-in ballot. You are absolutely fully capable of exercising your right to vote without a ballot.
Here we have MAGA Republican Congressmember Brian Steele's recent town hall that he held in Wisconsin. Let's play it.
My main concern is the tariffs that are coming up. I would like to know what dire economic circumstances put Trump in a position of throwing tariffs on over 190 countries.
This really, at its core, needs to be an opportunity to make sure that other countries are treating the United States fairly. The United States...
Here he is again from that town hall where he got booed. Let's play it.
Why are they wearing masks and why are they unidentified?
We'll probably agree to disagree on some of my answer here, but what I view is the moral hazard created by the Biden administration by allowing the U.S.-Mexico border to remain insecure. And so, it's completely fine that we disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing on the topic. President Biden had a different view than I did on the importance of securing the U.S.-Mexico border. But as millions of illegal immigrants came into the United States and there was a lack of action by the federal government, you're now seeing that action take place with the removal particularly of individuals who are in the country illegally.
And folks, you take a look at Donald Trump's approval in Alaska. His approval in Alaska right now is only 41%. That's in Alaska, folks. I don't think they're happy having Vladimir Putin show up in Alaska, making a mockery of Alaska and these United States. And by the way, Donald Trump's approval at record lows in presidential history at this point. We'll keep following it. You keep standing up. You keep resisting. We'll be in this together, shoulder to shoulder, every step of the way. We're here with you. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.